This is like the fourth year in a row that they've used kind of, I guess, the holidays to clean up spam. Basically, this is an effort that Instagram is taking to kind of get bad actors off the platform. That includes scammers, people that are posting problematic links, and also people that have bought or stolen usernames. So that's sort of a lot of people in this particular ban were caught up in that.
And in your article, you actually talked to some creators that were really heavily reliant on these fan pages financially as well. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, so unfortunately, in any kind of effort to kind of clean up spam on such a wide scale, sometimes other innocent people can be looped in on the mix. And so there were a few people who potentially, started their account through totally legal means, maybe were associated with a bad actor in the past, but were meanwhile, had been monetizing these accounts for years, growing these accounts for years. This is their sole business, and they're, selling ads on these pages, and that's how they're making money. So to have it suddenly gone, overnight is not good for them.
Yeah, of course. I mean, do you see this as something that a lot of these kind of social media giants should do from time to time? We've talked about similar crackdowns in the past. Are you in favor of these? And do you think we can expect more looking ahead to 2019?
I mean, I'm in favor of the crackdowns because that's what you've got to do to kind of continually police bad actors on the platform. So Instagram has got to do this kind of stuff regularly to clean things up. The platform has been overrun with bots and spam and other stuff in the past. So they're just trying to create a better user experience. But, as I wrote, I think Instagram does need a better maybe influencer management team. Some of these accounts that were deleted were ones that had up to 11 million followers and had been monetizing for years. And, when you do reach a certain kind of scale, I think that you should be able to potentially at least have some sort of communication or understanding of why, your account was deleted. Or somebody to appeal to. It's kind of hard. I think a lot of these people, mostly young kids, honestly, that do it, feel like, suddenly this can be taken from them overnight and they have no recourse.
Look, I'm going to ask you the real burning question that a lot of our viewers are wondering right now, and I know you've written about this in the past. Is Daquan okay?
Daquan, yes, or Daquan, you can call him whatever. He's fine. He's going to be fine. So he's actually, that's a good example of a meme account that's actually been completely sort of co-opted by corporate interests. I wrote a profile on that account earlier this year. Like a lot of meme accounts, you might think that it's written as if it's some, 20-year-old kid in his bedroom. But actually they have content studios in New York and LA, and they have entire teams of people with all different backgrounds, working on that account and putting out stuff just the same way that like BuzzFeed or any other kind of media company does, or World Star is another good example. These are at the end of the day more like little mini media brands, and it's usually not just some rogue memer. They have real content teams, social media managers, stuff like that.
All right, I was worried.
He's gonna be fine.
You were worried there for a bit.
Yeah.
Taylor, all this is coming just a day after Instagram rolled out for some people, for some reason, this bizarre horizontal tap swipe thing. We know how well that was received. Our colleague Alex Heath found himself in the middle of that. What did you make of this feature personally? And
I had it
what do you
too.
think it has? Oh, you were. Oh, see.
She was
wait,
one of the
you
lucky
had
people.
it?
Of course she was, though.
Yes.
Okay,
Under
so this confirms my theory. I'm just going to say it confirms my theory, where I said intentional tech media reporter influencer types were specifically chosen, like you and Alex Heath, to see this rollout. Is that a conspiracy? Or am I conspiratorial, or do you think I'm way out there?
No, I don't think that they would intentionally do anything
Fair
like
enough.
this. I mean, just Instagram, to be honest, I was so shocked to even see it in my feed. Instagram, Facebook press team is on point, as you probably know, and Alex definitely knows. They have an entire blog post, press release, embargo for even the tiniest feature. So the idea that they would just completely roll out a redesigned feed over Christmas with no heads up was bizarre, and it's frankly not the way that Facebook comms operates. If they were to do this kind of thing, this is such a drastic change to the feed that I imagine a rollout like this would include, an exclusive with a media outlet and, sitting down with maybe the product manager talking about the decision. Instagram doesn't really do things like this wildly, or without thought or without a lot of testing. But this is definitely, a test that they were doing, and it was inadvertently rolled out to a lot of people. I personally love it.
Wow.
I know. I kind of alluded to this on Twitter, but I am obsessed with Instagram, as everyone that follows me knows. And I guess I find it really interesting conceptually to think about, new ways that the app could be, redesigned or refigured. Like, first of all, users are going to have a backlash against any change that's sort of normal, and especially one like this. I guess what I thought was interesting, having just used it for a couple minutes before it went offline, is like, I don't know, I was consuming less content, but I was digging more into comments. Like, it made me, treat the app differently. And it is interesting to think, we're so captive to all these feeds. It's what's making us miserable. These algorithmic feeds have been so sort of like emblematic of this particular time of like bad social media. So, why shouldn't Instagram completely rethink that,
Wow, unpopular opinion there, but we got it here on Cheddar. Taylor Lorenz. Yeah, with the hot take indeed. Taylor Lorenz, staff writer at The Atlantic. Thanks so much for joining us.
Happy New